Good afternoon and evening, everyone. Welcome to the Shy Rise Show, brought to you by the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. We have a show here on CAN TV every Wednesday at 6 p.m. We want you to tune in, call in, give us your ideas and opinions and comments, whatever you have. You can reach us at the gallery through our website at EnglewoodEnterpriseGallery.com. You also can reach us by email at enterprisegallery@gmail.com. And if you feel like you need to call us, you can also call us at 773-719-9848. So, once again, this is the Shy Rise Show. I'm your host, Brother Eric. And I have two special guests with me today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Who do we have on our show today?
My name is Mike Santino. I'm an activist. And I also, educate people with disability about the disability rights.
All right.
My name is I.V. Preston. I'm an activist. And I also educate people on their rights as being a disabled person.
All right, so our guests today, they're going to just tell us some of the things they've done in the community, some of the achievements they've accomplished over the years, fighting for the rights of those with disabilities. So just tell us, Mike, what are some of the things you've been involved in?
I've been involved with an organization in the past for over 30 years, doing activism and travel to Washington, D.C., doing protests at Congress and the Senate.
Well, what were some of the issues that brought you out there to D.C.? Like, what are some of the issues that you face on a daily or yearly or whatever?
Some of the things is to make more accessibility for people with disability and in wheelchairs or off the wheelchairs.
All right. I've noticed around the city over the last few years that where they've like at intersections they made it more accessible for wheelchairs to get up on the curb. I mean, they're doing it in the residential areas, intersections. I mean, do you have any information on that? How's that been pushed?
Most of the time we get in touch with some of the aldermen in our neighborhoods and try to get them to make the sidewalks more accessible for wheelchair because like for example in the area that I live in Hyde Park, there's some areas right now that it needs to be more accessible for wheelchair because it's too dangerous. For example, it's a stop sign on 55th Street and Cornell that is actually causing problems. A couple of people already got hit in wheelchairs.
I know that.
Got injured.
Yeah. So, what about you, brother? Ivy. Yeah, I mean, I know him by several nicknames, but what about you? What are some of the things that you face things that you fight for people with disabilities?
Well, a lot of stuff I fight for is mostly about the stores that they build, and they don't make them accessible for wheelchairs. They have the high steps or the narrow doors, and the potholes in the streets, and they need speed bumps out there because older people walking out there disabled, cars speeding down the street. I've talked to the aldermen about it. I've taken pictures, videos, and sent it to the city website.
So tell me this: what are some when you all see something wrong with a store or intersection and you reach out to the aldermen? Usually, what is the response? Are they pretty open and receptive to some of your complaints, or do they? I mean, what are some of the responses that the aldermen give?
There's sometimes that when you reach out to the aldermen, they don't automatically assist you. You have to get together with the community and try to get the community together and work together with the community and go to City Hall and talk to the commissioner, and then the commissioner gets to us and then to the alderman. And things start moving more along.
So how do they find the money to I mean, do they ever be like, man, we don't have no money to do all that? I mean, how do they generate some of the funds to kind of like make things more accessible for
you
you?
do hear those things a lot, from some of the aldermen. They're always telling you they don't have the money, but the city do have the money for those type of sidewalks, especially when it's in a dangerous situation that the sidewalk might almost tilting that people can easily wasn't in fall, the elderly or people in wheelchairs. And there are locations right now that they don't have the accessibility to get on the sidewalk. Some people have to go on the streets, and that's dangerous for people in wheelchairs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, isn't there a law not just in the city? I don't know if it's nationwide or statewide, but don't businesses now have to be accessible for people in wheelchairs? Isn't it like against the law to have a place of business where a person in a wheelchair can't get into?
It is against the law to not to make the sidewalks accessible for the public. But at the same time, they don't do it unless if the people approach them and tell them to do it.
Oh, I see.
Or report them.
And then they'll do it.
Then they do it.
Yeah,
Cause
the issue.
okay.
Yeah.
Cause what about also too? I remember some law being passed about swimming pools. Like, do you know anything about that? Don't swimming pools have to have some kind of arm or something to be able to get people in and out of the pool with wheelchair?
It's called Hoyer lifters.
A Hoyer lift, okay.
They have
okay.
calls a Hoyer lifter. They're supposed to have Hoyer lifters to be able to put people with disability into the pool and out of the pool.
And if you don't have that, isn't that like against the law or something?
It's against the law.
Okay.
In other words, it's a violation for whatever who has a pool, especially if it's a public pool.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. We got a caller. Hold on one second. Caller, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
How you doing?
Eric, Mr. Fine. My name is Ray. You know what's wrong?
What's wrong?
The next thing you said. They don't have the money to help people, but they find the money to hire extra people to go out and sell everything that give what are those called? Papers for them to get elected. Or they also have enough money to hire extra people for their telephones, but they don't never have any extra money to help handicapped people or the vet.
I totally agree, caller. I mean that's across the board though. Like the government can find money to do all kind of silly things, spend money, but what we don't spend money on is our health care. And people, with people with disabilities, that would fall under like some health care and stuff, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's just the issue, like, in the world, but really in our nation where we got mental illness, we got all these people going out doing all this shooting and something's mentally wrong with them, and we don't spend enough money on our health care. So, I just wanted to vent that out. But let me remind our viewers that this is the Shy Ride Show, brought to you by the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. Our location is, what is our address again? 7039 South Wentworth. As a matter of fact, I'll do something even better. I'll just go to the overhead. But we're located at 7039 South Wentworth Avenue. You can reach us at 773-719-9848. You can also reach us by email at enterprisegallery@gmail.com. You can also reach us on the web at EnglewoodEnterpriseGallery.com. So, it's a lot of things that we do at the Enterprise Gallery, Englewood Enterprise Gallery, but today we ain't gonna focus on that. Right now we focusing on my two guests right now. But let me get back to some of the legal things that's going on. I know y'all have made trips to Springfield, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Enlighten me about that. Like, what were some of the reasons you had to go down to Springfield?
Majority of the time that we go to Springfield is to advocate for budgets that have been passed or not been passed yet to them to pass. For example, a couple of years back, they did a budget cut on home care and health care. And we went back over there to Springfield to fight against not cutting what's the name home care, not cutting what's the name health care.
So what happened when y'all went down there? Was your voice heard?
Our voice was heard, and the bill was passed. Not exactly where we wanted, but it was passed.
Well, tell me this. What I asked Brother Ivy. What's your opinion on Governor Rauner? Like, what's his view on health care? I mean, y'all smile. I mean, what?
My opinion on Governor Rauner is he's just trying to save money. He's not he doesn't really care about health care, you know.
So do you think he gonna make another term?
I don't.
I hope
so.
he don't.
I hope he don't, because right now, in the situation that people with disability are right now, we need help from a governor that will stand for people with disability. We don't need a governor that will say they will stand for people with disability but don't do what they say.
Right. Not to cut you off, but we got another caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes, this is Ray, and I had one more thing to say. Okay, listen, we all worked hard, all of us, to get the people, the Hispanics and the African American as aldermen. And guess what? They don't care about public health. They don't care about anything, and I'm going to tell you why. We need jobs. Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of construction is going downtown right now. Not one African American, not one Hispanic construction company crane is up there. Oh, there's people that work there, but there sure ain't none of our companies. And one other thing I want to say is this: in a perfect world, this would really be good. Them guys are helping, but you know what? With the people that we put in the office, all our aldermen and commissioners, and they're not doing anything, so there's only one thing to do.
What's that?
Vote the people in that are going to take care of everybody that's with you and other people. Because the people in there now always have an excuse why they can't do this, why they can't do that, but they have that big Christmas party or New Year's party every year. So you know what? I'm 69 years old. I grew up here in Chicago. Fought for my country in the Vietnam War. And if I would have known this, well, I'm not even going to say it. But it's so bad right now. You guys must understand that. So let's keep.
Well, thanks, caller. Thanks. We appreciate your opinion. I mean, you totally correct, caller. To like what he was saying, just about like he said, he's fought in the war, Vietnam vet. I'm sure you all meet a lot of veterans and stuff.
We have met a lot of veterans, and a lot of veterans that I met. Some of them are a friend of mine, and they are not being treated in the way they should be treated.
Right.
You know, they should be treated more better than what they are being treated right now. And there's some veterans right now, they don't even get the accessibilities that they need.
Right.
You know, some of them are in nursing homes when they should be living in their own apartment.
Man, I totally agree. I mean, it's a shame. I might have to vent again. I mean, it's a shame that a lot of and now this don't matter what color you are. I mean, you go into war, you go and fight for this country, and you come back and you struggling. I mean, there should be no question. You go and put your life on the line for this country, for us to have the freedoms that we have. That's what they say, you know. But it's just that it's a shame that they come back to this country and can't get the proper health care, the proper accessibility they need. I mean, whatever it is they need, they should be the first in line. I mean, they should always get what they have coming to them. I should never be no hesitation on that. So I totally agree.
I made a decision a long time ago after I had my accident, to advocate and help people with disability and educate them about the disability rights. My mentor that teach me how to do the kind of work that I do, he told me never see a person because of the color of the skin or their nationality. They all need assistance to try to educate them. If you know what to tell them, how to help them, be there for them as much as possible. And that's what I've been doing. That's what Ivy been doing with me, you know, and we try to help as much people as possible.
So tell me this, I mean, what would you like, well, before I get on, I don't even want to get on Trump, because I was going to ask you about what's Trump thing, but what would you like to see, like, for this country or the state, city, whatever, what would you like some of the changes to be, like, for the near future? What would you like to see more of for people with disabilities?
I know it's impossible, but
What?
you know, I would like for them to do what they got put in office for. Help the people.
Do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah, you know, stop making excuses. You got the money, put it in the right place. You got people living on the street, and then you find out that they're vets and stuff. You want somebody to go over there and give their life for this country and come back and have less than what they went over there for? And this supposed to be the land of the free? Are you serious? You people, we putting you in office and you're not doing anything. We're going to take our power back from you.
You know,
Put you back out here.
we keep on saying there was a name, like Trump says, he's an American. Okay, you're an American. Be an American. You are the leader of this country. Treat your people from this country as your people, like they're supposed to be. Don't treat them like they are like infant childs, okay, that you cannot do what you are in office to do.
So
When President Obama was in office, there was always against him when he was in office. Now that he's not in office and Trump is in office, the only thing he's doing is doing more worse things than what Obama was doing.
yeah, I mean, that's on both sides. His own people barely like him. I mean, it's crazy because it's funny to see a president come into office and it just be a circus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's embarrassing.
It really is embarrassing, and you got to really think like, what are these other countries looking at? They looking at us. It's supposed to be this superpower, and we done got this fool in the office.
Right.
I mean, that makes us look. Yeah, it really makes us look bad.
Yeah.
You know, this is the land of the free, but in the way we look right now, we are not being. It's not like the land of the free because you're not able to do what you're supposed to do or say what you're supposed to say because Trump got a problem with that.
Right.
You know, yes, he's our president, but he doesn't act like our president.
He don't like a lot of people. It's a movement out there right now. That movement is like, he's not our president. You know, so I hope that the rest of the world can kind of see that he kind of like on an island on his own, and that the American people don't really back him. I hope the rest of the world, y'all know that, and that all Americans don't think like that fool. You know.
Give me a reason to me that wasn't to represent or say, this is my president.
Right.
Okay? Give me a reason to say that. At the moment, ain't no reason for me to say that he's my president, even if he's in office.
Let me say this, not to get too far off the subject, but I do got to plug the Englewood Enterprise Gallery one more time. I want to mention that every Sunday we hold survival classes. Each week we have a different subject or topic that we tackle. We went from water purification one week. The next week we went to food and dwelling building. So it's a fun class every Sunday from noon to 2 p.m. If you want to come out and join us, I mean, please feel free. The address is 7039 South Wentworth. You can give us a call at 773-719-9848. Send us an email at enterprisegallery@gmail.com or visit us on the web at EnglewoodEnterpriseGallery.com. Speaking of the web, let me go and run a commercial real quick of some of the things that we've done as the Englewood Enterprise Gallery, some of the things we've done around your community. Oops. Wow, that was real amazing. No, those are some of the things though we do. That's the some of the gardens that we've built around at some of the schools in the community, in the Englewood community. We all have our own peace garden in the back of the gallery where we have the youth from the neighborhood and around town. They come and help us build a garden and just do little minor tasks around in the back. Also, this summer we were part of the One Summer Chicago program where we had youth from around the city, well, in the Englewood neighborhood, come and actually make some money helping out around the gallery and doing some things. They learned how to sew, how to jewelry make, how to make t-shirts. I mean, we teach them trades and skills. They did a video production class. So it's a lot of cool and good things that we do over at the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. But back to my guests. So, advocate for people with disabilities. If someone with a disability or someone that wants to help, tell them, what are some of the things that they can do to help out?
If you are in a situation that you have some way towards an end that you need someone to advocate for you, we are available towards an end to contact us
through the Englewood Enterprise Gallery. I mean, if you if it's something on your street, or you need to get in touch with your alderman, or you need to get your voice heard, these brothers can help you do that, and they could set you in the right path. And the only way that, well, I ain't gonna say the only way, but one way to get in touch with them is to visit us, send us an email at the Enterprise Gallery at gmail.com. Give us a call at 773-719-9848. And you can leave a message or leave an email, and we will give it directly to these brothers, and they will contact you immediately and have a sit down or whatever it is, assistance you need. They can help you with that. We're going to be wrapping up soon, but, I mean, is there any other things you all want to share with Chicago before we go? Any events coming up that that somebody can come out and support or anything like that?
Well, at the moment, they're supposed to be, I don't know if there's anyone out there that is interested in wheelchair sports.
Mm-hmm.
There's a wheelchair sport, basketball, quad rugby. It's a quad rugby team in Chicago called the Bears team.
Okay.
And if you want to join, there are a few people that I can be able to recommend that you can be able to contact.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, for y'all out there, I mean, there's sports, there's things around town going down for people with disabilities. I mean, it's a lot of things that has become more accessible for you. So let's go on and wrap the show up. I want to thank all my callers. I want to thank everyone out there watching and viewing. This was the Shy Rise Show. I want to thank my two guests, IV and Brother Mike Santino, for coming out and sharing some of their experiences with us. I want to thank you. See you next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Shy Rise. Peace.